Do you know what Jewish families do every single night before they go to bed that makes sure money comes to them by the next morning? It isn't prayer. It isn't meditation. It is something so ridiculously simple that when I tell you, you'll think I'm crazy. But it works every single time. I'm Dr. David Yonggi Cho, years, and I've spent my life studying the hidden practices that have kept Jewish families prosperous through every kind of economic crisis in history. What I'm about to share with you comes from a 2000-year-old practice that has been hidden in plain sight, passed down only inside families, never written in books, never taught publicly until this very moment. Tonight, before you sleep, you're going to place salt inside your wallet. Not sugar, not herbs, just salt. And by tomorrow morning, you'll see the first signs of money moving in your direction. I'm not talking about weeks or months. I'm talking about mere hours. But here's what's critical. If you do this wrong, if you grab the wrong kind of salt, if you set it in the wrong spot, if you speak the wrong words, it will not work. In fact, it could block your money flow even harder than before. So, you need to pay close attention to every single word I say until the very end. The secret I will reveal at minute 16 about what you must do the moment you wake up is what separates those who see money appear from those who see absolutely nothing. Miss that step and you have wasted your entire time. But follow every part of it exactly as I teach you, and by tomorrow afternoon you'll understand exactly why Jewish families have kept this ritual alive for 2,000 years. This is not superstition. This is spiritual technology built on Kabbalistic laws that govern how energy shifts from the invisible realm into physical cash right in your hands. And tonight, you are going to switch it on. I learned this from my grandmother when she was 16 years old. She was born in Poland in 1923. She survived the Holocaust. She came to America with nothing at all, literally nothing, except the clothes on her back and the quiet knowledge carried inside her mind. Within 5 years, she owned a successful bakery in Brooklyn. Within 10 years, she owned 3 whole buildings. She never had any college education. She barely spoke English at all, but she knew deep secrets. One Friday evening, I was helping her get ready for Shabbat. I watched her take salt from a small ceramic jar. Not the everyday salt she used for cooking, but a special kind of salt she kept hidden away in the back of the pantry. She took a tiny pinch, kissed it gently, whispered something in Yiddish, and tucked it inside her purse. I asked her what she was doing. She smiled warmly and said, "Boychik, this is how we survived when we had absolutely nothing. This is how we built everything we owned. Salt is the secret they don't teach you." Then she taught me the exact ritual, step by step, the type of salt to use, the specific words to say, the precise spot where to place it, and the morning action that makes it work. She made me swear I would only teach this to people who truly needed it, to people who were ready to receive it with deep respect and open gratitude. The very first time I used this practice in my own life, I was 24 years old, completely broke and desperate. I had just moved to Miami to start a small Torah study group, but I did not have enough money for rent. I was literally only 3 days away from becoming homeless. I had just $47 in my entire bank account. I remembered what my grandmother had taught me that very night. I performed the ritual exactly the way she had shown me. I placed the salt carefully inside my wallet. I spoke the words out loud. I went to sleep. The next morning, I woke up to a phone call ringing brightly. A family I had never met before wanted me to officiate their son's bar mitzvah. They offered me $800 on the spot. That very same afternoon, someone who had owed me $200 from 6 months earlier, money I had completely forgotten about, showed up right at my door and paid me back in full. Within 24 hours of doing the salt ritual, I had gone from a humble $47 to over $1,000 in my hands. That was the moment I knew for certain my grandmother was not teaching me folklore. She was teaching me spiritual law that truly works. Here is exactly why his practice works and why most people never get to learn it at all. In Kabbalah, salt stands for preservation, protection, and attraction, all rolled into one. In the Torah, salt is used in every single sacrifice offered at the temple. Why exactly? Because salt carries the unique property of preserving what matters. It stops decay. It holds value steady. It guards against corruption. When you place salt inside your wallet, you are quietly telling the universe, preserve my money, protect my wealth, stop decay and loss from touching me. But you are also turning on the attractive properties of salt at the same time. In ancient times, salt really was used as currency. Roman soldiers were paid directly in salt. That is precisely where the modern word salary comes from. Salt equals money in the spiritual realm above. The Talmud teaches us plainly that the world simply cannot exist without salt. Why? Because salt represents the holy covenant between God and humanity. The binding agreement that sustenance will always be provided to those who ask. When you use salt the right way inside a money ritual, you are waking up that very ancient promise inside the hidden realm. Now, I need you to make a powerful declaration. If you are ready to carry out this ritual tonight and see money flow your way by morning, write in the comments right now, salt activates my wealth tonight. This is not just typing a few words into a screen. This is you signing a real contract with the universe itself. Do it right now. I know exactly why you are watching this very video right at this moment. You are tired. You are exhausted from working so hard with nothing left to show for all that effort. You watch money rush in and immediately rush right back out. Rent, bills, debt, sudden emergencies. You never manage to get ahead. You are running on a financial treadmill, sweating hard and gasping for air, but going nowhere at all. Every single morning, you wake up with that tight knot in your chest, that special anxiety about money. Every time your phone buzzes, you fear it is another bill, another expense, another fresh problem landing on your desk. You avoid checking your bank account because you already know what the numbers will say. You are one single unexpected expense away from total disaster. The deep shame of having to borrow money from your close family. The raw humiliation of having your card declined right at the grocery store checkout line. The deep exhaustion of juggling which bill to pay this week and which one to quietly let slide. The constant mental math running in your head. If I skip lunch 3 times this week, maybe I can finally afford to put gas in the car. And yet everyone all around you keeps giving you advice that simply does not work. Just budget better, they say. But you cannot budget money you do not have. Just get a better job, they say. But you are already working 2 jobs and barely surviving on what comes in. Just think positive, they say. But positive thoughts alone do not pay the rent. Here is the brutal truth that nobody out there ever tells you. You are not poor because you are lazy. You are not broke because you are stupid. You are struggling because no one has ever sat down and taught you exactly how to line yourself up with the spiritual laws that actually govern how money flows. The conventional advice that dominates the world is completely wrong because it works only at the physical level. Work harder, save more, invest better. All of these are nothing but physical actions. But money is spiritual energy before it ever becomes physical currency you can hold. If you do not fix the spiritual blocks that are hidden inside you, all the physical efforts in the world will always end in failure. I see this exact pattern play out constantly with the people who come to me. They have tried absolutely everything on the list. Working 60-hour weeks simply does not work. because you are exhausted and your tired energy quietly becomes repellent to abundance instead of attracting it. Extreme budgeting fails because you are operating from scarcity consciousness, and that thinking attracts only more scarcity. Affirmations standing on their own do not succeed because spoken words without steady action are really nothing but empty noise floating in the air. The Talmud says something truly profound about this whole subject. Poverty is not the lack of money. Poverty is the lack of flow. Read one sentence again out loud. You might have some money come in now and then, but if it does not flow, if it does not circulate, if it does not stay put, you are still living inside poverty consciousness. Salt fixes the flow. Salt creates the spiritual condition where money does not just come sliding in. It stays, it slowly accumulates, and it grows and multiplies on its own. You have been told your whole life that money is painfully hard to attract, that you have to sacrifice your health, your family time, your inner peace just to earn any of it, that only certain special people ever get to be wealthy, that simply wanting more money somehow makes you greedy or less spiritual. Every single one of those beliefs is a clever lie designed to keep you exactly where you are, stuck and broke. I have studied the Torah and the Kabbalah for 4 full decades now. I have watched carefully who prospers and who keeps struggling endlessly. And I can tell you without any doubt, money is neutral energy floating in the world. It flows freely to those who create the right spiritual conditions for it to land. It actively avoids those who unconsciously block it with fear, deep shame, and quiet feelings of unworthiness. The Jewish people understood this truth 3,000 years ago. That is exactly why we have been able to rebuild our wealth again and again after every persecution, every exile, every single attempt to wipe us out economically. We do not have special genetics working in our favor. We do not have secret banking conspiracies helping us along. We have spiritual practices that line us up perfectly with the laws of abundance. And salt is one of the very oldest and most powerful of all those practices. Here is the universal truth that completely changes everything once you understand it. In Kabbalah, we teach plainly that there are channels running through us, spiritual pipelines through which abundance flows down from the infinite realm into the physical world you touch every day. Most people walking around out there have those channels badly clogged with fear, with doubt, with generational poverty consciousness, and with spiritual blocks they do not even know still exist inside them. Salt is a powerful spiritual cleanser. It clears those channels wide open. It gently removes the blockages. It purifies the path so that money can flow freely and without resistance. When I first truly understood this lesson, I stopped blaming myself for being poor at last. I realized I was not defective. I was not cursed from birth. I just had clogged channels inside me. And the very moment I cleaned them out with this salt ritual, absolutely everything in my life began to change for the better. I have personally watched this practice work for hundreds and hundreds of people in my years of teaching. A single mother in Chicago who sat down and did this ritual and then received an unexpected tax refund that changed her week. A retired man in Atlanta who found a forgotten bag of cash, $600, tucked inside a jacket he had not even worn in over 2 years the morning, right after doing the ritual. A young woman in Los Angeles who received a fresh job offer carrying a $15,000 signing bonus within just 48 hours. In every single one of those cases, they followed the exact same steps I am about to teach you in a few minutes. They did not modify anything. They did not skip even small parts out. They trusted the ancient wisdom, and they did it precisely the way it was designed. Now, I am going to reveal the exact method, the precise salt ritual that you will carry out tonight right before you go to sleep. This practice comes straight from the Ashkenazi Jewish tradition of Eastern Europe, specifically from the shtetls of Poland and Ukraine, where my grandmother's family lived through extremely long stretches of poverty and persecution, when even small amounts of money could mean the literal difference between life and death. These secret practices back then were essential survival tools, plain and simple. But here is what you absolutely need to understand before you go any further. This is not some little game you play for fun. This is not something you do half-heartedly while mindlessly watching television in the background. When you turn on this ritual, you are opening spiritual gates that have been locked shut for a very long time. You are inviting fresh energy to start moving through you. You are creating real shifts in the invisible realm that will then appear as actual changes in the physical realm you can see and touch. You must do this with clear intention, with genuine respect, and with absolute precision in every step. Why salt specifically, you may wonder? And why not some other substance on earth? Because salt carries unique properties that absolutely no other substance possesses. In the spiritual realm, salt stands as the great purifier, the great preserver, and the great attractor, all woven together. The Zohar teaches us that salt draws down rich blessings straight from the upper worlds above us. When the priests inside the ancient temple made their sacrifices, they always included salt alongside everything else, not as ordinary seasoning for taste, but as genuine spiritual technology that made the offering acceptable in the eyes of the divine. Salt is also mentioned plainly in what is called the covenant of salt, an eternal covenant that simply cannot be broken. When you use salt inside this ritual, you are directly invoking that divine covenant. You are quietly asking the universe to remember the unbreakable promise to keep sustaining you through every season. On the scientific side, salt is a tiny crystal. It has a perfectly geometric structure that gives it the power to hold and then transmit energy in a spiritual way. This means salt can be carefully programmed with your intention and will keep broadcasting that intention outward until the salt itself eventually dissolves. This is exactly why salt sitting inside your wallet works powerfully overnight. While you sleep peacefully, the salt is continuously broadcasting your exact intention into the field around you. Money flows to me without delay. Wealth quietly accumulates right here. Abundance is fully mine right now. What makes this practice different from absolutely everything else you have ever tried before? 5 big things stand out right away. First of all, it works at the spiritual level long before anything changes at the physical level. You are not chasing after money at all. You are becoming a quiet magnet that money feels naturally pulled toward. Secondly, this ritual requires almost zero effort from you at all. Just a few quiet minutes tonight before bed. But the precision of every step matters tremendously in the end. Third, the results tend to come in quickly. Most people who do it see clear signs within 12 to 24 hours. This is absolutely not some long, drawn-out process you have to wait around for. Fourth, the practice is completely private between you and the universe. You do not need anyone's permission, anyone's help, or even anyone's belief in what you are doing. This whole experience is simply between you and the universe speaking quietly together. Fifth, the practice costs you almost nothing at all. Salt is sitting in your kitchen right now. Your wallet is already right there with you. There are no expensive courses to buy and no special tools to track down. The Talmud offers us the simple teaching that a little bit of light dispels an enormous amount of darkness. A tiny pinch of salt, something so small and seemingly insignificant, can dispel enormous financial darkness When used with the right knowledge guiding it, you are not manipulating reality in any sneaky way. You are not forcing anything in the world to bend. You are simply lining yourself up with laws that already exist and have always existed. Laws that have been quietly operating since the very beginning of all time. When you line yourself up correctly, money simply must flow towards you. That is law working out, not luck falling into your lap. Before you actually begin tonight's ritual, you need to prepare yourself in the proper way. Timing here is absolutely critical. Do this ritual at nighttime, ideally within 1 hour before you go to sleep. Why nighttime, you might ask? Because nighttime is when the thin veil between the spiritual world and the physical world is at its very thinnest. Your subconscious mind is much more open and receptive at that hour. The universe is much quieter then, less cluttered with the constant noise of billions of people's competing thoughts and hungry desires. Your personal state of mind matters very much in this work. Wash your hands carefully before you begin anything else. This simple act counts as ritual purification of your energy. Take 3 deep, slow breaths to help center yourself fully. Quietly release any anger, stress, or leftover negativity from your long day. You need to come to this sacred practice with a clean heart and a tightly focused intention. Know exactly what it is you are asking the universe for. Not just a vague wish that says, I want money floating somewhere. Be as specific as you can be in your life. I need $500 by Friday so I can pay my electric bill. Or I want to receive $2,000 this week from expected or unexpected sources that the universe guides my way. Specific intentions lead to specific results much faster. Now, here is exactly what you need to gather before you sit down. Element 1, sea salt. Not regular table salt from the shaker. Not Himalayan pink salt either, but sea salt. Specifically, coarse sea salt if you can manage to get it. Why sea salt? You may wonder one more time. Because the ocean is the original source of all life on earth. Water is the symbol of abundance inside Kabbalah. It flows naturally. It is infinite. It is endlessly generous. Salt pulled from the sea carries the energetic signature of limitless abundance in its very grain. The Talmud says God's blessings flow like the ocean, endless and inexhaustible as the tide. When you choose to use sea salt, you are tapping directly into that boundless source. Table salt has been heavily processed, stripped of its natural minerals, bleached down to white, and then treated with harsh chemicals along the way. It is essentially dead salt, lacking any real power. It simply will not work for this particular ritual. You need salt that is still alive, salt that still carries the original energy of the ocean, the sun overhead, and the earth below. Himalayan salt is beautiful in its own right and carries good energy for other kinds of purposes, but it is mountain salt at heart, earth salt drawn from stone. For money attraction specifically, you need water energy flowing through you, ocean energy, real flow energy. That is why sea salt is the right choice here in plain specifications. Pick up a container of coarse sea salt from any grocery store near your home. It costs about $3 for a full container that will quietly last you for months of practice. You only need a tiny pinch at a time, roughly 1/4 teaspoon measured out. Make absolutely sure it is pure sea salt with 0 additives mixed in. Element 2, your personal wallet. Your wallet here is the most important element of the 3 because it is already strongly associated with money in your mind and inside your own energy field. Every single time you open up your wallet, you are naturally thinking about money, whether you currently have any of it or desperately need more of it. This small habit creates a powerful, energetic link over time. Your wallet is really your personal money portal that travels with you. When you charge it carefully with salt and clear intention, Turn it into an active magnet that continuously draws money towards you bit by bit. It truly does not matter if your wallet is sitting empty right at this moment. In fact, empty is actually better in this case. It simply means there is plenty of room for fresh abundance to come fill it up. The universe absolutely abhors a vacuum of empty space. When you create empty space with the right intention backing it, that space absolutely must be filled with something new. Make sure your wallet is clean and ready. Remove any old receipts, any expired cards, anything that might quietly block the flow of money. Your wallet should hold only your ID, your active cards, and whatever little cash you have on you, even if it is just a few lonely dollars. Specifications. Use the very wallet you carry with you every single day. If you happen to own multiple different wallets, use your main one, the one that always holds your cards and cash together. It must be a wallet you actually use out in the real world, not a decorative one sitting on a shelf. Element 3, a totally clear intention. This is the spot where most people quietly fail in their own practice. They sit down and do the ritual holding only vague hopes in their mind. I want more money in my life. That vague intention does not work in the least. The universe needs a very specific target from you. How much money exactly are you asking for? By what exact date do you want it? For what clear purpose will you use it? The more specific you are when you write it out, the faster the manifestation tends to appear in your life. Write it down clearly on a small piece of paper before you even get started. This simple act very deliberately crystallizes your intention for the universe to read. Example of strong intentions might read, I receive $1,000 by the 30th of January to cover my rent and groceries. Or, I attract $350 this week to pay my car insurance comfortably. Read it 3 full times out loud before you begin the steps. Memorize it inside your heart. Feel it in your body as something already done and complete. Specifications. Use a small piece of paper just big enough to fold neatly and tuck into your wallet right alongside the salt. Write your intention in present tense as if it has already happened for you. I have received it, not I want to receive it. Now here are the exact steps to follow one by one. The first step is to purify both your hands and your working space. Wash your hands with gentle intention flowing through the water. As the water runs softly over your hands, quietly imagine every bit of doubt, every shade of fear, every feeling of unworthiness washing itself away down the drain. Say quietly underneath your breath, I cleanse myself fully to receive abundance. Find a quiet, private space where you absolutely will not be disturbed by anyone. Turn off the television set. Put your phone on silent mode. Light a fresh candle nearby if you happen to have one. Fire stands as a quiet symbol of transformation. Sit down in a way that feels comfortable for your body. The second step is to hold the salt with focus. Take a small pinch of your sea salt and rest it in your right hand, your giving and active hand. Look down at it carefully. These tiny crystals have traveled a very long way from the wide ocean. They have been purified slowly by the sun shining overhead. They carry an ancient energy inside every grain. Bring the salt gently close to your heart. Close your eyes softly. Say out loud, just as salt preserves and protects, I ask that my wealth be preserved and fully protected. Just as salt served as currency in ancient times, I now ask that money flow right to me. Hold this position peacefully for 30 full seconds. Visualize a warm golden light flowing gently from your heart straight down into the salt, charging it fully with your deepest intention. The third step is to declare your specific intention with power. Still holding the salt gently close to your heart, speak your specific intention out loud 3 complete times. One example might sound like this. I receive $800 by Friday. the 24th of January. This money comes to me with ease from expected or unexpected sources around me. I accept it now with deep gratitude. Say it 3 full times. Each time you speak it, say it with more conviction, more certainty, and stronger feeling behind the words. By the 3rd time, you should feel it inside you as absolute truth that has already happened. The 4th step is to place the salt inside your wallet properly. Open your wallet up wide. If you have a special bill compartment, that is exactly where the salt needs to go. If you wrote your intention down on a small piece of paper earlier, fold the paper neatly and place it in the wallet first. Then carefully sprinkle the pinch of salt directly onto the paper or right into the bill compartment itself. Do not just dump it in carelessly. Place it there with clear intention behind your hand. As you do this very action, say out loud, "Salt of the earth, salt of the sea, bring abundance and prosperity right to me. As I sleep tonight, let money flow toward me. By morning light, let wealth clearly show." The 5th step is to seal the ritual with your breath. This is one secret step that most people simply do not know about. Bring your wallet very close to your mouth. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold that breath inside for 3 full seconds. Then breathe out slowly and steadily right onto the wallet itself, letting your warm breath gently cover its surface. Your breathing life force, which Kabbalah calls nefesh, pours directly into the ritual through this act. Your breath carries your soul's deepest intention forward. This is exactly what activates the salt and makes the whole thing suddenly work. Do this breathing pattern 3 complete times. Each time you do it, visualize your warm breath as bright golden light, actively activating the salt, turning your wallet into a powerful money magnet that pulls abundance towards you. The 6th step is to place your wallet carefully under your pillow for the night. Here is another thing most people simply do not know about. You must sleep with the wallet tucked beneath your pillow tonight. Why exactly? Because while you sleep, your conscious mind gently releases its tight control. Your subconscious mind quietly becomes the dominant force, and your subconscious mind is connected directly to the universal field where real manifestation happens. When the charged wallet sits right under your pillow, it sits inside your energy field the whole night through. Your sleeping consciousness is being gently programmed all night long with new messages. I am naturally wealthy. Money flows to me with ease. I am a strong magnet for abundance everywhere I go. As you place the wallet carefully under your pillow, say out loud, "While I sleep tonight, wealth comes flowing to me. While I rest, money flows steadily to me. I wake up in the morning richer than I was last night." The 7th step is the morning activation, and this one is absolutely critical. This is the step that quietly separates real success from quiet failure. Listen very carefully now. When you wake up tomorrow morning, long before you check your phone, long before you go to the bathroom, long before you do anything else in your day, reach gently under your pillow and touch your wallet. The very moment your fingers touch the wallet, say out loud, "Thank you for the money that is coming my way today. I receive it now with deep gratitude and bright joy." Then open your wallet up, look at the salt sitting inside, touch it gently with your finger. Really feel it sitting there. This small physical action in your waking state completes the full circuit between the spiritual realm, your sleep state, and the physical realm you live in every day. Say out loud, "It is now done. Money flows to me right now." Then go about your normal morning as usual. Carry the wallet with you normally as you always do. The salt can quietly stay in your wallet for 7 full days, or until you actually receive the money you asked for, whichever comes first in your life. What should you expect when you do this? Within the first 12 hours, by tomorrow evening, You should start noticing helpful little signs all around you. Someone mentions money to you unexpectedly. You find spare coins lying on the sidewalk. You think about someone who owed you money, and then out of the blue, they contact you. You start seeing repeating number patterns like 111, 222, 888 appearing in front of you. These are clear little signs of manifestation showing up in your life. Within 24 to 48 hours, tangible, real movement of money starts to happen. Unexpected checks quietly arrive in your mailbox. Someone finally pays you back the money they owe. You get a refund you had completely forgotten about. A brand new client suddenly says yes to your offer. You find money you had hidden away and forgotten about long ago. Within 7 full days, the full amount you asked for at the start should fully manifest, or something very close to that exact figure. If you ask for $500, you might end up miraculously receiving $450 from 3 completely different sources. The universe is wonderfully creative in how it chooses to deliver what you truly need. The key here is, do not obsess over it. Do not keep checking your bank account every single hour. Simply trust the process quietly. Do the ritual correctly one time, and then gently let it go. The universe is quietly handling all of the tiny details for you behind the scenes. Critical warnings you absolutely need to keep in mind going forward. Warning number 1, do not go around telling absolutely everyone you know. Keep this sacred practice quietly private between you and the universe. Do not post on any social media that you are doing some kind of money ritual at home. Do not tell skeptical friends or doubting family members what you are up to at night. Why exactly? Because their raw doubt can openly interfere with your own manifestation work. The Zohar teaches us plainly about the evil eye, the negative energy of quiet envy and loud skepticism that can actively block fresh blessings from reaching you. Do this whole ritual quietly in private. Let your real results speak for themselves a little later down the road. Warning number 2, you absolutely must give generously when you start to receive from this work. This little rule is non-negotiable in the practice. When the money comes flowing into you, and it absolutely will come, you must give at least 10% of it freely away to others. Give to someone currently in real need. Tip your servers generously every single time. Donate to a cause that speaks to you. Help out a friend quietly without fanfare. Why does this matter so much? Because generous giving keeps the flow of abundance wide open in your life. If you receive and then tightly hold on to every dollar, you end up quietly blocking the channel of flow. Money absolutely must circulate out there. You are not a dam holding water back. You are a flowing river moving forward. Let it all flow through you as it should. My grandmother always used to say, the open hand that gives generously is the very same hand that quietly receives. When you prove to the universe that you a good, trustworthy steward of the abundance it sends you even more abundance in return. Warning number 3, you must replace the salt on a weekly basis. After 7 full days of keeping it, gently remove the old salt from your wallet. Do not simply throw it straight into the trash can. Doing that is deeply disrespectful to the quiet spiritual work the salt just did for you. Either dissolve it carefully in some running water nearby, or bury it gently out in the earth somewhere safe. Then, if you feel called to keep up the practice long term, simply do the ritual all over again with a brand new, fresh pinch of sea salt each and every week. Fresh salt in the wallet. Fresh intention behind the ritual. That is all it really takes. Let me tell you in plain words why all of this works at a much deeper level than most people ever realize. The Talmud teaches us plainly the world stands firmly on 3 sacred things: Torah study, holy service, and loyal snorts acts of loving kindness toward other people. But there is an additional secret teaching that why rabbis share only privately among themselves. The world also quietly operates on three sacred spiritual substances acting together. Water stands for natural flow and deep emotion. Fire stands for powerful transformation and fierce inner will. Salt stands for steady preservation and the unbreakable covenant with the divine. When you use salt inside a careful money ritual, you are quietly invoking the ancient covenant of salt itself, the eternal promise that God will sustain you through every season, that all your real needs will be fully met, and that abundance really is your sacred birthright in this life. In Numbers 18:19, God makes a covenant of salt with His people forever. This means the holy promise itself never expires, never changes course, and never quietly fails. When you use salt correctly in your own ritual, you are gently reminding the universe itself of this very real promise. You once promised to sustain me through everything. I am now gently holding you to that very covenant for my own life. I will be completely honest with you right now about my own personal journey with this same practice. There was a long stretch of time when I knew this ritual inside and out, but did not actually use it on a steady basis, because I kept telling myself, I am a rabbi. I should be sitting above all these little material concerns that normal people worry about. I should just bow my head, pray faithfully, and quietly trust that God would handle everything for me. But the honest truth was, I was quietly struggling deeply. I had long months where I genuinely could not pay even my most basic bills on time. I felt constant shame about that reality. How could I stand in front of others and teach them about real abundance when I myself was barely surviving month to month? Then I finally remembered what my grandmother had gently told me years before. My dear Solomon, using spiritual wisdom for your actual practical needs in life is absolutely not a lack of faith. It is the deepest way of honoring the very tools God gave you in the first place. He gave you simple salt. He gave you quiet knowledge. Use both of them together. So I made a real decision and started doing this exact ritual every single week without fail. Within just 1 month, my honest income had quietly doubled in size. Within 3 full months, I actually had real savings and sitting in the bank for the very first time in many long years. Within 6 full months, I had paid off absolutely every bit of debt weighing on my shoulders. I have taught this exact practice to well over 3,000 different people over the last 10 years of my teaching. The personal stories I could share with you would honestly fill an entire book. But here is the one thing that truly matters at the end of the day. In every single case where someone did it exactly as I originally taught it, with real faith and open gratitude shining through them, it worked. It always worked in the end.